So this is going to be a slightly different video to normal because this is the drama that's been going around, and I feel like there's a lot of misinformation about what's happening, and I kind of want to talk about it. So the drama I'm obviously talking about is Jagex's proposed change to how the membership is going to work with the tiers. Now, as a bit of an intro, um, I've been playing since the final days of RuneScape Classic. I've played RuneScape 2 beta, RuneScape 2. I was around when EOC came out. I played RuneScape 3 all the way till 2018, 2019, and I played about a year of OSRS and RS at the same time. And then I made the full change to OSRS and then played OSRS ever since. So I've dealt with mod pips, I've dealt with monetization, I've dealt with microtransactions, all this stuff which is history I have lived through. So I've broken this video down a bit, and I'm not going to edit this too much because, to be honest, this has been so widely covered that I don't think there's much value in going super in depth with this. But first, I will say I've seen a lot of people talk about how Mod Pips needs to retire, Mod Pips needs to step down, Mod Pips this, Mod Pips that. The thing is that if Mod Pips steps down, who's going to replace him? No one in the Jagex company can decide this. Unfortunately, CNC are going to be the ones who are going to orchestrate who will be in charge, and whoever's in charge is going to be someone that will listen to CNC and do whatever they want. So, I actually think that Mod Pips is probably the best person to be at the helm right now, especially as although he was involved with the microtransactions in RS3, he's also a big part of why we've had our golden era, as many people like to quote, over the last few years. A lot of the updates that have been coming out that people have liked, like Valamore or demo modes or the leagues, he's had a hand in that as well. So yeah, I don't think having him as the scapegoat is fair. Next, the packages. Now, the packages we've seen are absurdly bad, right? No one, no one is happy with this, and no one should be happy with this. But, and I'll link this in the description, or I'll pin a comment by myself. This is a little bit blown out of proportion. The ones which have been publicly shown around is one of the many, many, many options Jaggers have released. Now, I will admit the majority of them are awful. I'm pretty sure every single one has, at some level, adverts into it, which I think is outright wrong. But the one that's been shown that has been the most popular has been almost cherry picked. And I understand why that's been done. I understand you want to show the extremity to which Jagex are proposing to change things, but I think that going for that as and almost making it out to be like that's the only option Jagex are talking about is also not really the right approach. I'll show below in the link or a link to every option they've shown, and you can read them yourself. Some of them make sense in it to an extent. I feel like if what we've got now is like 7 out of 10, some of the options they've given are like a 6 out of 10. They're still not quite great, but they're nowhere near as doomsday inspiring as the ones that have been made popular. However, one of the big things that's come out, which I do agree with, is that this is a clear sign of broken trust from Jagex. The fact that they'd even consider showing this is pretty bad. But this is where my level of copium comes in. For anyone who has worked had to deal with these type of corporations, I think a very possible scenario is Jagex had an internal discussion with CNC. CNC said to push these changes, and Jagex said, "This is going to go badly. This is not going to roll with them. Don't do this." And so Jagex have proposed this poll in the most glaringly outrageous and offensive way to the community as humanly possible in an attempt to essentially cause what's happening. I think Jagex wanted us to have this sort of outrage so that we would clearly voice and they can show CNC this is not the way. It's absolutely not the way to go forwards. And I'm hoping that this has all been a eye opener to them. Now, the obvious way to monetize better is get more people in. You know, this is what World of Warcraft has done: get more people into the game, get them paying membership, and more money will come into their business. And they make more money, we get more players, everyone is happy. And putting adverts into the game is awful. One of the things I love the most about the agility changes is free-to-play players for free get a gigantic quality of life. People who are brand new to the game that have decided straight off the bat, I want membership. I don't think, oh, I'm going to spend 30 hours training agility. They get a massive benefit. It's nicer to newer players. I think newer players in free-to-play need to be treated better to keep player retention for new players up to hopefully grow the game out a bit more. And that fixes all the issues that CNC are worried about. However, one thing which is a kick in the teeth is there are features that are common in other games that have been there for over a decade, like customer support, that Jagex somehow have never gotten right. It's not a difficult thing, especially for a company grossing as much money as they are. And they basically said, yeah, we've heard you loud and clear. We know you want this thing, but we're not going to give it to you. Go fuck yourself. Oh, but wait, now we can charge you for it. Now we can upsell this to you. This basic feature you should just have, we're now going to charge you for. And that's scummy as hell. And it is egregious that they are showing to us that they have the capability of doing all these things, but haven't decided to make that step until now where they can charge us for it. I think it is just scummery. And one of the things they need to really elaborate on, because I am 75% sure it's illegal, is they made these comments about the higher tier protection has better data safety. Are they saying that our data, that they are more willing to accept a breach of our data if we are not paying them enough? Because if you look at it backwards, they're saying if you don't pay enough, we won't protect your data as well as we can do, which is most definitely not illegal. So I'm very iffy on how I feel about that. It is left a bad taste in my mouth. But again, it's very, very hard for us to know what is the actions of Jagex and what is the actions of CNC. The reality is what we know now is Jagex are, in most cases, not the bad dudes. In some cases, might be the bad dudes. But CNC are definitely the fucking bad dudes. They're the ones we need to have the blame. They're the ones who need to have the hate. And all the toxicity and all the negativity has to go towards them. And Jagex, especially the J mods, for the most part, are clean of this. This is not their problem. Although, I will say, if they want to monetize more, monetize better, I don't think it's a bad thing. But I do think there are right and wrong ways to do it. Obviously, the way they're suggesting now is just the wrong way. They're basically saying, how would you feel about paying more and getting less? No one's happy with that. But what they could be doing is looking at doing tiered packaging for memberships, which makes sense. Now, I've been saying to my clan for a long time that I think that tiered membership isn't a bad idea, depending on how they do it. So, I think the most imperative thing is what we currently have in every possible format stays the same. If not, is improved upon with additional features for the same price. I don't remember what the membership cost is. I've started paying for it ages ago and I've just forgotten about it. I think let's say it's 10 quid a month. Wherever they change they do, there should still be the option to pay 10 quid a month for membership to not have ads. Ads should never be in the game. And you should get all the things you get now, plus customer service, plus customer support, plus the account recovery thing, all of that. However, if they want to say something like, oh, but membership package B is you can pay 18 quid a month and you can have 2 accounts which are members, or you can pay 25 quid a month and 3 accounts are members, or you can pay 30 quid a month and every single account on your Jagex account is members, then that is a lot more enticing. Because I don't know about you guys, but like for myself, I have 2 accounts that are members, and cost is a big factor for me if I want to go into any further. And if they were to do a package where you are saving money, it's not as bad, and it actually would entice me to spend more per month. And there are definitely people out there who have got 5, 6, 7 accounts, all members at the same time. If you could say to them, oh, you can pay one set fee and you get all of them to be members and it saves them money, there's a lot more people who probably upgrade to that tier, which will result in more money generated. But for the majority of players, we're going to be either having no change or a slight discount, and which is going to make us happy. So I think for the average player, it makes them either the same or save a bit money. For some players who want to push the game further, they have the option to pay more money and get better things for it, none of which will jeopardize the game or its integrity. But it's definitely avenues to look at. I think everything about how they've done it so far is wrong and bad, but like I said earlier, I don't think Jagex, JMods, or Mod Pip are to blame. So my outro for this, just be a bit. I agree with the riots. I agree with the unsubscribing. I agree with the negative review bombs, all of that. Anything to make the voices heard, all the Reddit exploding, I support every single bit of it. I think you should fully have our voices heard. But I also just would like for people to realize that their anger needs to be directed in the right place. Mod Pip and the JMods are not the ones at fault here. CNC are. Please remember that. And hopefully together we can get through this awful fucking period and get back to playing the game we enjoy. Much love.